So welcome back. Good morning again going out to your viewers. If you just tuned in, it is the Healthy Morning Show live on Hstv. My name is James We're moving into another segment, that's the Matters Horizon, where we're touching on stories making the news. And EWURAMA is going to start off with Ghana Feed.
Right, so starting off with the Ghana Feed, as James said, we're streaming live on all our social media platforms. Go on Facebook at Hstv Live GH, as well as YouTube, to catch on everything that we're talking about today. So let's start off with our first newspaper, which is the Ghana Feed, and we have a lot of stories right here on the front page. So starting off right here, it says medical screening of SHS students. The Ghana Education Service ignores over 13 million Ghana cedis debt owed the Ghana Health Service. So it seems we're moving to the education space. Although the Ghana Health Service keeps providing medical screening for the senior high school students, the Ghana Education Service is owing them a 13 million Ghana cedis debt, and that has been over years now, and they are complaining that this debt needs to be paid. I mean, yes, we have these students in their senior high schools. Medical screening is indeed important for these students to be able to take care of their health as they're in there. But then if the education sector is not really doing their part of the contract, then what exactly should the Ghana Health Service do now as they're providing the medical screening? They still need money, they still need funds, they need resources. So they're pleading on the Ghana Education Service to pay or settle that debt that is owed to them. And then also right at the top side of the Ghana Feed newspaper, it says President eulogizes the YEA CEO. You can find this full story on page 3 of the Ghana Feed. And also right here it says harnessing digital skills crucial for Africa's job struggles. This coming from Esla Owusu. And down here it says the Ghana Water Company Limited to demolish buildings near the Densu River. So this is a sad story coming in. However, let me touch on the story. So right here it says dozens of buildings close to the Densu River, which feeds the Wager Dam, have been earmarked for demolition by the Ghana Water Company Limited. The notice on structures in the Wager Gbawe municipality in the Greater Accra region states the structures will be demolished. The Wager Dam provides potable drinking water to thousands of homes in the capital, and sources within the Ghana Water Company Limited says the demolition is to protect it from encroachment. However, residents say the thought of losing their property in this time of harsh economic conditions has brought great distress to them. So we had some of them also coming in saying, some says, my husband has been crying since our building was marked for demolition. He invested all his savings in the construction of the property, and the thought of losing it is giving him sleepless nights. So we have a lot of these residents coming out saying that this is really going to disturb them because they do not have anywhere else to move. So as the Ghana Water Company Limited is moving in there to demolish their buildings, where else are they going to go? Because they put a lot of money and a lot of funds into those buildings. So they're hoping that this demolition is not really going to take all of their properties, and they're going to have another place to stay after this demolition initiative is done. So this is coming from the Ghana Water Company Limited to residents near the Densu River. And also right here, which is the last story we have on the front page of the Ghana Feed, it says NDC attacks on me lack merit. This coming from the Attorney General Godfrey Dame on the back of the issue where Professor Frimpong Boateng laid in a report to him saying that some particular people were supposed to be prosecuted over illegal mining activities. We had the NDC coming in saying that the fact that the Attorney General came out to say there's not enough evidence provided is not right, and that he needs to work on that case. However, he's also coming out saying that the NDC's attacks on him lacks merit. So yeah, it is a back and forth right there between the Attorney General, Professor Frimpong Boateng, and the National Democratic Congress. So let's see how that's going to play out as well. And these are the stories we have right here on the front page of the Ghana Feed.
Okay, so away from the Ghana Feed, let's go straight to the Supreme newspaper. And the banner headline says, government counting on you to sustain agriculture. This is from the president to the youth. And on top it says, digital skills are key to job creation. Esla Owusu made the statement. So why is she saying this? So Minister for Communication and Digitalization, Esla Owusu Ekofu, has hinted that the country is moving towards a direction where digital skills will be required in all forms of entrepreneurship and vocational fields. According to her, the use of ICT tools will be made available to students at all levels in order to prepare them for the anticipated future. So speaking at the Mentorship Day for students in the Bono East region, that are participating in this year's Girls in ICT initiative. Asla also therefore assured that government will ensure more rural areas are connected to any form of ICT through the support of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communication. So this is coming from Asla also. And down here, Dr. Prempe proposes that establishment of African Energy Bank. Dr. Prempe proposes the establishment of African Energy Bank. And down here, coming from the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, he says, I am saddened by the pains I see in the eyes of our mothers after he visited the flood victims. And on the other side, it says, GES ignores Ghana Health Insurance in medical screening contact after refusing to settle over 30 million Ghana debt. And lastly, GBA blasts partisan lawyers.
Okay, now away from that, let's move straight to the Anchor newspaper. So right here we have lots of stories, and starting off, it says Goldfield's dabbling in dirty politics, as says football fans as company delays TNA Stadium weeks after terminating the Mediema deal. And also right down here it says pressure mounts for state of emergency to be declared over the dam spillage. And down here it says $40 million World Bank cash for farmers affected by the dam spillage. So we had the agricultural minister, that is Brian Achampong, coming in directing that $40 million should be given to the farmers in the Volta region who have lost their farmlands as a result of this dam spillage that happened. And a lot of people are glad about that because they've been calling on leaders, they've been calling on people to come in to help them. So this initiative coming in from Brian Achampong, it is really, really satisfying that at least at this point we have a lot of people coming in, sending in helping hands to the victims of this dam spillage, and we're hoping that it's going to keep on going like this so they're able to be relieved of all the other things that they lost. And also right here it says Margins Group, the KGL, donate 1.4 million Ghana cedis towards Infanta Pim Sports Complex project. Let me take that again. It says the Margins Group, KGL, donate 1.4 million Ghana cedis towards Infanta Pim Sports Complex project. And also at the top side here it says premix automation worsens fuel corruption. This is coming from the Elmina Fisher folks as they cry. So these are the stories we have right on the front page of the Anchor newspaper. Okay, so away from the Anchor newspaper, let's go straight to Daily Graphic. And the banner headline says, dam spillage, World Bank vote $40 million for farmers. And on top it says, extreme poverty increases. You can read a full story on page 13. And on the other side it says, apathy towards official corruption worry. This is coming from GBA. So what are they saying? The Ghana Bar Association has called for the swift passage of the Conduct of Public Officers Bill to ensure the culture of accountability and integrity among public officers. It is said that the move would help address the perceived apathy towards reported corruption-related incidents involving public officers and appointees under the current administration. At a post-conference to brief journalists on diverse issues adopted as part of this year's Bar Conference, the president of the association, Yahweh Champon said the GBA was particularly concerned about the country's ranking on the Transparency International Corruption Index and the Index of Public Integrity, as well as the issue raised in the Auditor General report. Now, solution, he says the GBA therefore proposed that basic culture and social norms, value of honest labor, decency and integrity must be imbibed in children. So this is coming from the Ghana Bar Association with regards to the story we have on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Okay, now away from the Daily Graphic newspaper, let's touch on some stories, some entertainment stories in the graphic showbiz. So this is coming from Joyce Blessing, who's another great gospel musician we have right here in Ghana, and she says that discrimination against secular acts breeds disunity. And I think, you know, we've been having a lot of people coming in saying that I don't know if I should say they've been criticizing or they've been saying bad things against secular music right here, and then also putting gospel music over secular music. But she's saying that discrimination against the secular acts, it breeds disunity. Of course, they all have their fields in entertainment. Some people do the secular, some also do the gospel music. So hey, if I find myself in that space, of course, it shouldn't be any discrimination happening right there. And then also right at the top side of it, it says Shatawale should be mindful of his actions. This is coming from Kofi Ochiame, which you can find on the back page of the graphic showbiz. And lastly, on the front page, it says it is not wrong for gospel artists to work for awards. This is coming from Kobe Sam, which you can also find on page 3 of the graphic showbiz. And these are the stories you have right here on the front page of the graphic showbiz.
Okay, so moving away from the graphic showbiz, let's go straight to the Daily Dispatch. And the banner headline says, I am sad. Baumia suspends campaign and visits Akosombo Dam spillage victims. You can read the full story on page 2 of the Daily Dispatch. And on top, it says a press runoff elections in Liberia. You can see that full story too on page 11 of the Daily Dispatch. And down here, coming from the Energy Minister, he says Africa needs an energy bank. So why is he saying that? The Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, says there is a need for the establishment of an African energy bank. The bank, the minister says, will be the citadel for financing of Africa's energy project in the wake of energy transition. So speaking at the opening panel session at the 2023 African Energy Week on the theme Global Energy Security, the imperative of African energy development, the minister said the energy transition conversation from an African perspective is confronted with militating factors including limited technology capacities, low productivity, weak capital markets, and high input costs, and therefore an African Energy Bank will be in a pole position to address these challenges. The bank will understand the peculiar circumstance of the African continent and will therefore support our efforts, he said. So this is coming from the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, saying that we need an energy bank which is going to help in, impacting and developing the ministry when it comes to energy right here in Ghana. So these are the stories we have on the front page of the Daily Dispatch.
Okay, now we're from the Daily Dispatch. Let's move straight to the Chronicle. And right here, coming from Ajibin, says, small boy, Ajibin insists that the judge must go. This is referring to the Chief Justice, saying that she must resign. We have a lot of people coming in also saying that she should resign on the back of a lot of other cases that have been thrown out. Talk of the NDC's case that was thrown out against the Electoral Commission and other cases that have been thrown out as well. And now he's coming out saying that the Chief Justice must go. So you can find the story on pages 2, 3, and 4 of the Chronicle newspaper. And down here, coming from the Ghana Bar Association, it says, stop defending suspected corrupt officials. And also right here it says MOBA 1983 doles out 1.4 million Ghana cedis to support Infantipim Sports Complex. You can also find this on the back page of the Chronicle. And good news coming in for the victims of the dam spillage. It says the Vice President consoles flood victims. And also right here, which is the last story we have on the front page of the Chronicle, it says the COP Yohuno donates to flood victims. So these are the stories we have right here on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper.
Okay, so I think we'll be wrapping it up, but there's a story popping up which is something we need to look out for. So coming from the Ghana Medical Association, some findings they've been able to make during with the happenings in the Akosombo Dam spillage. So it says Akosombo Dam spillage, malaria, diarrhea, and bilharzia cases found in emergency shelters. So the Ghana Medical Association has made a disturbing disclosure detecting people with signs of diarrhea living in the emergency shelter created for people affected by the spillage of Akosombo and Bone dams. So the acting general secretary of the GMA, Dr. Richard Salome, disclosed this during an interview. He said the team was dispatched by the association to help with rescue efforts in the affected areas and came across a number of people with diarrhea. We mobilized a team of about 22 people collaborating with the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association, and a clinical psychologist who also volunteered from 37 Military Hospital. They went on the ground on Tuesday and divided themselves into 6 different teams. And at the 6 different shelters, they are offering health, education, screening, and treatment of people. Dr. Salom says, we had noted that the most common thing being found is people having malaria as well as skin diseases and respiratory conditions, because most of the centers are holding a lot of people at a go and people are close in contact. So this is coming in from the Ghana Medical Association. When they went in there to rescue people, they noticed that people have sort of diseases, diarrhea, bilharzia. Yeah, that's another critical thing right there we need to look at. So it's quite disturbing.
It is. We have a lot of them being choked right there in the hospitals, and it is very sad. I think think we had that's the Comboni Hospital coming in saying that they are discharging a lot of people because of this flood, this spillage that has happened right there. So yeah, it is very, very sad.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that, something can be done about it.
Yeah. So these are some stories we have right here, and we're posting them on all our social media platforms. In case you want to have an update of things happening, you can go straight to HSTV Live GH on Facebook, and also we're streaming live today on our YouTube page. So that is very important. You go there to HSTV Live GH and have a good streaming of the show today. So we're wrapping it up on the Mantis Horizon segment, and we have a Precious Azuma standing by with Sports in Minutes. We'll be right back.